All right, so what happens when you ask a really powerful AI to predict the future? Well, two experts did exactly that, and the AI came back with a super detailed timeline for the rest of our century. Let's take a look at what it had to say. So, these experts basically just prompted an AI to map out the big technological breakthroughs we should expect, breaking it down into 5-year chunks. What it spit back out is, well, it's part super exciting, part kind of terrifying, and 100% mind blowing. Okay, let's dive into this. Because here's the thing, according to this AI, the future is coming a whole lot faster than any of us think. We're going to walk through its predictions, step by step, to see how our world is about to change forever. First up, the near future. The AI predicts that there are two massive, and I mean massive, revolutions already getting started. One is happening on our roads, and the other is happening inside our own DNA. The AI co-pilot is pretty much already here. And just look at the contrast. We humans, we get tired. We make mistakes. An AI driver, it's defensive, it's predictive, and it can operate 24/7 without a coffee break. The AI's big prediction is that by 2040, most of our city rides will be completely autonomous. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a very real threat to millions of jobs, from truckers to taxi drivers, and that disruption is kicking off right now. Okay, at the exact same time, an even bigger revolution is brewing in biology. It's called CRISPR. Now, forget all the complex science for a second. The source explains it in the simplest way possible. Just think of it like a find and replace feature on your computer, but for the actual code of life, our DNA. So how does it actually work? Well, it's basically a 3-step process. First, scientists find a specific faulty gene. Then, they use the CRISPR tool to literally cut that unwanted piece out of the DNA strand. And finally, they can paste in a new healthy gene right into that gap. It is biological cut and paste, and it's incredibly precise. The potential here is just staggering. We're not talking about small improvements. We are talking about completely wiping out genetic diseases like sickle cell anemia. We could, in theory, edit out the genes that make us susceptible to things like cancer. And then there's the really controversial stuff. Designer babies. The ability to choose traits, maybe even things like high intelligence for your kids. But here is the massive catch. This number, that's the projected minimum cost for a single CRISPR treatment in India, 2.5 crore rupees. And that immediately brings up the huge question that's going to follow us through this entire timeline. If this technology can offer a better, longer, healthier life, who gets to afford it? So as we move into the 2030s, the AI predicts that technology will stop feeling like just a tool we use and more like a constant companion that's totally integrated into our daily lives. By 2030, the AI says we'll have robots in our homes with emotional intelligence. And no, we're not talking about a vacuum cleaner that bumps into walls. These will be companions that can actually read your emotions. If you're feeling down, they might try to console you. And just like with cars, there will be different levels. A basic model that just does chores might cost around 5 lakh, but a top-of-the-line robot that can form a deep emotional bond. You could be looking at 30 lakh rupees or more. And remember the job disruption for drivers? Well, it's coming to the office. The AI predicts the rise of what it calls AI agents. These are basically digital employees you can hire to write software, analyze data, or create reports, which means a lot of jobs that we thought required a human mind are suddenly looking pretty vulnerable. And we're not just talking about entry-level positions here. Get this. The AI predicts that even the world's top consulting firms, the Big Four, are going to see 30 to 40% of their jobs either completely replaced or totally transformed by AI in the next 10 years. The very definition of intellectual work is being rewritten as we speak. Okay, now we're jumping ahead to the 2040s and 50s, and this is where things start to feel like they're pulled straight out of a movie. The line between our own minds and our computers, it's about to get seriously blurry. The AI lays out this rapid-fire series of advancements. By 2040, it says, we'll have neural interfaces. Just 5 years later, synthetic biology could let us create entirely new organisms from scratch. And by 2050, bioimplants that monitor and optimize our health could be as common as smartphones are today. Let's just focus on those neural interfaces for a second. We're talking about brain-computer chips, kind of like what Neuralink is working on. Imagine a world where you don't type or speak to your devices. You just think. You think about a social media post, and it just appears. You think of a song, and it starts playing. This is a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology. But, of course, there's a huge dark side to this. It feels like something right out of Black Mirror. If your thoughts are connected to a network, what happens if that network gets breached? A hacker wouldn't just be stealing your data, they could be stealing your actual memories. The security risks are almost impossible to imagine. Okay, so all of this is building toward the most radical prediction of all, a future where technology doesn't just assist humanity, it fundamentally redefines what it even means to be human. By 2065, the AI predicts that mind uploading will actually be in clinical testing. Now, this is the idea of creating a perfect digital copy of your consciousness, your memories, your personality, everything that makes you you, and preserving it inside a computer. But there's a really important catch here. This is not true immortality. Your physical body, your original consciousness, still ages and dies. What you're creating is more like a digital Xerox copy, a perfect replica of your mind that can live forever inside a simulation. Your memories and personality get preserved, but it's not actually you. So all of this, the gene editing, the brain implants, the AI agents, it's all leading to one ultimate endgame, artificial super intelligence, or ASI. And we're not talking about a smarter chatbot here. This is a form of AI with an intellect so far beyond any human that its creations would seem like pure magic to us, capable of solving our biggest challenges, from disease to interstellar travel. And that brings us to the end of this AI-predicted timeline. The final takeaway isn't about any single piece of technology, but about the profound ethical question that all of these advancements are forcing us to confront. This quote from one of the experts who ran this project just sums up the core problem. Every single technology we've just talked about will come with a very high price tag, creating this terrifying possibility of a world split in two, not split by where you live, but by biology itself, a world of the super rich and technologically enhanced, and then everyone else, just left behind. As we're standing right on the edge of being able to reshape our own biology, we have to ask the question on this final slide, what happens to everyone else? What kind of future are we actually building, and who is it really for? And that's the ultimate question this whole timeline leaves us with. Thanks for watching.